Bootcamp grind, goals arise, creating wealth, no surprise. Who's gang here? Teach the way, victory's ours every day. Stampede of might, every army strong. Warriors unite where they belong. Fight together, win the prize, earn the fees, time to rise. Stampede of might, every army strong. Warriors unite where they belong. Fight together, win the prize, earn the fees, time to rise. Step by step, rules before, power surges, a mighty storm. Together strong, every army might, these we conquer in the fight. Goose Gang leads, wisdom shared, battle tactics always prepared. Forge the path, victory we claim, ride the waves, no one's tame. Tactical mind, fierce and proud. Echoes of these roars shouting loud. Together we march, unbreakable chain, honor one, feast again. With every swing, with every stride, earn it all, feel the pride, Meteora's call. Hear the sound, triumph's ours, stand our ground. Down. Stampede of might, every army strong. Warriors unite, warriors unite where they belong. Fight together, win the prize, earn the fees, time to rise. Step by step, rules before, power surges, a mighty storm. Together strong, every army might, these we conquer in the fight. Goose Gang leads, wisdom shared, battle tactics always prepared. Forge the path, victory we claim, ride the waves, no one's tame. Row one's tame, row one's, row one's tame, row one's tame, row one's tame.
G-Met,
G-Met.
welcome everybody to Advanced Bootcamp number 3. How you guys doing today?
Doing very well,
That
thank you
good?
very much.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, that's HMC singing. That's how he sounds.
Yeah, that's how it sounds. All right, guys. No, that's not me singing. Anyway, thank you all for coming to Advanced Bootcamp number 3. Today we are talking about advanced strategies. But first we'll go through a little bit of introductions. This is Kkelebek. I don't know if you want to say anything about yourself there, sir.
Hey. Hello guys, welcome. I'm Kkelebek and I'm one of the founder of Meteora and one of the VP Army member. Today I will talk about my basic strategy. It's safer, I think it's safer than other strategies, and also Phobos, one of the Meteor team members here with us, and he helped me about translate me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, sir. Phobos.
Yes, sir. I'm Phobos, everyone, and welcome. Like Kkelebek said, I'm gonna be doing my best to translate whatever he says about his advanced strategy, mostly on bid ask. and whatever comes next of them. So yeah,
Well, welcome, Phobos, and thank you for coming today.
yeah, glad to be here.
Yep.
Hello, everyone.
Gmet.
I am Gmet. Yeah, my name is Chief. I am one of the LP Army Bootcamp instructors, and this is my second advanced bootcamp. Yeah, basically, I'm like many of us here, full-time crypto. I found Meteora a lot like everyone else did, so just trying to farm an airdrop, but ended up staying for the fees. Helped establish GooseDAO, and and it's kind of crazy to me that I've been LPing for more than a year now, basically every day. I surf, and I game, and I crypto, and I'm here to show you guys today some of the more degen, risky, max fee 999% LP alpha. So yeah, I'm excited to share some of that with you guys.
Oh yeah, man. Well, we're glad to have you here. And yep, that's me, Heavy Metal Cook, Bootcamp mod. You guys probably know me well here, but I've been crypto for a while now and running the boot camps and teaching and busy guy. But you guys should know me by now. We're gonna go ahead and move on here. So common strategies, that we're all kind of used to is, playing spot, that thing that always works, right? Or, common people do part spot, part bid ask. It, will still earn some fees even in the middle, but you're still getting the power of DCing in and out, buying low and selling high on your, thing. And well, my camera is being funny today. Zoom back out, please.
That's some crazy
Yeah.
moves you got.
Yeah, it's a new PTZ camera, and it's zooming in and out on me. It's going to do some tracking, and we're going to have some fun with it. Here, hi, everybody. Okay, let's zoom back out, please. Anyway, so other strategies that we have, one-sided bid ask, that's very common. People do that, but we're here to what else is there? What else is good? Now, one place that you can learn and talk strategies with people is right there on our LP Army Discord, and that QR code there is for that. To take you straight to that server if you're not already familiar with it. You can scan that little code and become a member, man. Yeah, so let's all go ahead and jump right into this. Chief, why don't you go ahead and share your screen and show us what you got?
Yeah, sure. So let me just set myself up here. I'm sharing the screen. Can you see it? Good. Can't hear you. You're muted. Oh, there we go. All right. I want to preface this with a big warning. This sometimes doesn't work, or it can lose you money. It can also make money, but it can also lose you money. And how much you put in and how much you risk, that's your choice. Please do not fucking blame me. It's not financial advice. This is more just trying to help you understand the full extent possibilities of the LMM. And it kind of born out of some of the just this urge to try and get the highest fee percentage, 24-hour fee percentage, which everyone knows you can. The UI will only display 999. and probably the way to do this, to achieve this, the most fees, is to stick it all in one bin. But it's not very practical because you're very likely to lose out on impermanent loss. And so what we do is to try and get something as close as we can get within reason to a single bin. And Mythical Potato, which many of you who are in LP Army will probably know, is someone who has championed this strategy. And I guess I'll show you this strategy today, but also a little bit more theory behind it. Just you could just copy it, or you could sort of learn a little bit more about how I think about, or many of us think about, LPing. So imagine the current price is in the middle, and you know your different shapes that you can have. By the way, can you guys hear me? Seems like the screen might have frozen or something.
Yeah, I hear you just fine, man.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I hear you.
All right, so yeah, when you go to place your liquidity, you have many options. You got the curve, the bid-ask, and the spot, and you can choose if it's one-sided or if you put only SOL or only token or both. And this is the framework I like to think of it. So basically, your lowest risk approach would be to put just SOL and to do the bid-ask, which is the bottom left here. And then the highest risk, in my opinion, actually the highest risk in my opinion would be buying the token and just holding it and hoping it goes up. You're not earning any fees, so you're completely susceptible to it bouncing down. You're not going to earn any fees as it goes down. But you are going to gain the most in a price appreciation if it goes up. So in the terms of the DLMM, the highest risk position you could do is likely a one-sided token bid-ask. So it's very aggressive. You're not earning any fees at the current price or very little. And then you're mostly relying on token appreciation for your profit. And then we talk about the other kind of range, I guess, or the other kind of axis in which I'd like to think of things is maximizing yield, or I guess capital efficiency. And we all know that the curve strategy, which is the middle two here, is basically placing your liquidity as close as possible to the current price. And so you're going to get the highest fee yield at that price. And now being a good LP, in my opinion, is understanding and getting a feel for when to pick which mix of these different options you have. Because conditions change. And if volume is very high and the fee, the dynamic fee is very high, then in my opinion, you're going to be wanting to go for spot or curve. And if the fees aren't that great, but the volatility is pretty good and it's moving up and down, you want to be relying more on appreciation, which is the bid-ask. So I hope that kind of makes sense as a framework of thinking of how you use these different strategies. So this kind of curve strat that is nicknamed, or the strategy, I guess it really tries to maximize fees by being as highly capital efficient as possible. So the idea is you want to be as close to one bin as possible while factoring a likely dip and subsequent buy. So it's a bit of a typo there. You want to use single-sided deposit and withdrawal, the function that DLMM has. You want to use it to its fullest extent, and I'll show that in a minute. And the idea is to take a high-risk position, but for as short as possible. So you mitigate the risk, and you do it with big size as well, if you feel like it. Now, the conditions in which this works is you're trying to find a time when the dynamic fee is very high, like 10% is perfect for this. The base fee, ideally the base fee of the pool you've selected is also high. And you're looking at the chart, you think there's a very high likelihood of a pump in a minute. And so this is just, I know a lot of people do the single-sided bid-ask, and it is essentially the same thing, except you put the curve instead of bid-ask. And so I have recorded. I'll walk over while I'll narrate kind of what's going on. So here I am. I'm LPing Fuckcoin, and you can see here I'm using the MACD in the bottom left corner. And by the way, I am really granular. I'm a 15-second time frame here. So I'm really like playing the individual dips and swings as much as possible. And you can see the RSI is quite low, and the MACD is showing that the sell volume is starting to slow, and buys are about to start coming in. And so this is where I open a single-sided sol position. Here I put 10 sol in. And I've done it in the curve strategy. So I put the most amount of sol as close as possible to the price, with it diminishing as the price goes down. And in this example, I am in an 80 bin 1% pool. Well, this is not ideal. Ideally, I'd be like an 80 bin 5% pool. But I found recently that some of these really tasty pools haven't been appearing. There's a lot of people opening pools at 1% from the very beginning, or even less, which is kind of crazy to me. So here I am. I'm thinking, okay, it's going to bounce. Maybe I should buy some sol, buy some token. And you can see that it's not really hitting the curve. But quite often, if anyone has done this quite a lot, you realize that this is the point at which a lot of people execute buys. And so smart traders often sell into this buy. That means it's likely to dip again a little bit lower than you thought it was going to. And so here, what I'm doing instead is I'm adding another 5 sol, so it's a total of 15 sol into this position. And I've just mixed it with the curves. So now I'm putting spot, because I was kind of a bit hesitant. I thought, well, I don't want to put it all into curve. I might mitigate some of the risk by using spot and basically spreading out some of that extra 5 sol further away from the price. So if it dips down, I can earn some fees to out-earn that impermanent loss. And so here we go. I place it, and right on cue, so someone sells into it, and boom, it eats up a big chunk of my position, starts dipping down. But you can see the fees now up in here. Now, I hadn't claimed any fees yet, so it's not showing the 24-hour fee per TVL, but you can kind of see how quickly it's moving. So something that really helps when you do this kind of position is it's already dipped. So another dip is likely to get bought. It's overall trending up. So I wouldn't do this on an overall trending down coin. And yeah, it's dipping down. Now, when you do this with big size, you start getting a bit nervous at this point. You're a bit you're worried. But I'm watching the net buy. You can see its net buy is 30K. It's still going down. But as you can see, a lot of my token is used straight away. I mean, a lot of my sol was used straight away to sell into the market. So here I'm just plotting out like where's my stop loss, basically. Just waiting to see what happens and hoping it's going to come back up. I'm pretty sure it will. And right enough, some buys are coming in, and you can see quite quickly how small, even like we've had like 3 or 4 big red candles, but 1 or 2 buys really move it. So here what I'm doing, now that I feel like the momentum is changing and the buys are about to come in, what I don't want to happen is another big red candle of death taking all my sol. So I have gone into withdraw, and I've clicked hide and show bins to withdraw, and I've selected, if you go back, so you go, withdraw, select sol only, hide and show bins to withdraw, and I'm just taking out all the sol that's underneath and just leaving the token in here. So what this does is if it dips or it doesn't play out correctly, I'm able to save that other sol from being converted into token. And so what I'm doing here as it climbs, I'm again withdrawing more sol, just making sure to lock in that Solana so not losing it to a token I don't want, in case there's like a big red candle of death. Now remember, I'm looking at a 15-second time frame. So stuff needs stuff moves very quickly, and I'm really granular at this point. I'm 80 bin step, and I'm really zoomed in. I'm quite tight range too. So I think this is only like down 10-15%, something like that. And the market cap of this coin is like 6 million at this point, 7 million. So stuff's moving. The dynamic fee is not quite as high as I would like, so that's why I'm feeling a bit risk averse, and I'm removing the sol as soon as it happens. You see here, I'm getting even more nervous. I can see that buys are slowing down. It's likely to dip down again, and so there you go. It's dipping down. So now I'm withdrawing the liquidity completely, closing the position. The idea is to get the liquidity, the token, out of the DLMM as soon as possible and just sell it before it devalues too much. And then you can just restart the position again.
Chief, we got someone with a question here.
Yeah.
I need to choose the middle point of the curve. Do you mean I should adjust it manually to the center?
Yeah, so let's, for example, there's this token here. I think this is probably the, let me just have a look. This is probably, yeah, one of the only working 5% pools at the moment. So here I go. I want to put some liquidity in. So you could put it like this. Now it's going minus 57%. And so that's quite a range. If we go to the token itself, we can see 57% would be way down here. So probably too much. So what I do is, going back to the position, I can click this button here, reset price. And that will move it so that now I'm only occupying half the bins in the 69 bin position. And what this is useful for is you can place this as it's pumping. We'll go back to this. Sorry about the dogs in the background, a little neighborhood fight. And we can see that, looking at the chart, yeah, it looks like it might bounce up in a minute. So we go back to this position. And if it moves up a bin, I can always withdraw the sol and move it, but not close the position, and just move it a bin further up, or however many bins it goes up. And so, yeah, hopefully this answers your question. You choose the middle point of the curve. Hopefully what I showed you, and maybe I did it slow enough. If you turn off autofill and you put in just sol, you'll automatically get this. This curve is minus 57%. It's probably too wide to be of any use in this context. So I hit reset price, and now it's minus 34%. I might even just go down to something like 15%, 16, and put it in like that. And then we go back to this, and we can see, 15, 16% is, yeah, plenty for this coin. And so here, what I really need to happen is this. It's the same as a bid ask, but the only difference is your full commitment. The liquidity is placed. So yeah, so this is the thing. This is why I was withdrawing the sol. We had this good question. If I enter with a big position, anything I can do if the trade is not going my way and the token dumps quickly. I mean, really, your best choice with this is to try and avoid getting in that position in the first place. You should really only be opening a big position when there's a very clear uptrend here, like for example, at the beginning of this. Actually, no, if I go like a 1 minute time frame, this is where you would be aiming to do this strategy. you have this very clear initial pump, and then naturally it will dip. But the first dip of a big pump usually gets bought like crazy because people were sidelined and they're waiting to enter. So this is the perfect time. And by the way, it's quite hard to catch this moment. It happens very quickly. You got to be quick on the draw. But this is the perfect time to set up your big old curve bid ask like this. I mean, your curve single-sided spot position.
So is this what we call the top blast curve?
Yeah. So the idea is it's reached the top. It's been a huge pump. Normally, if you bought at this point, you're kind of asking for trouble, right? So instead, you're just placing Sol beneath, but you don't expect it to die straight away. You know, just from watching so many of these coins and the way things happen, that there's almost always a little dip and then a big pump before this. The second dip is usually worse, and the third is almost always like a big sell-off. So really, you have, what's this? Let's see. This candle is 2309. I mean, this is minutes. This is like 5 minutes, not even.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, it's a quick in and out, but you're going two-sided here.
No, I'm only Sol, but a big Sol stack. So like, if I was serious,
Gotcha.
so you would do like 50 Sol here. It's it's all relative to your portfolio size, but the idea is you make up for the short period of time by doing it with a larger size, and you make up for the amount of risk by doing it for a short period of time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And and you also you really very much want to get this, and it's very risky to do it here.
Yeah.
Or here it's less risky because you've had like 1, 2, 3 big clear sell-offs. So after the third sell-off, you I don't know. It seems likely that stuff is gonna people will find it cheap. So this is where good knowledge of the MACD and the RSI really comes into handy. And for me, GMGN is very good at watching the net buy feature here on the 1 minute.
Yeah.
Stuff's moving.
Someone had a
hey, look at that.
Really fast. Yeah. I mean, this is a regular bootcamp question, but like, just show them real quick where the functions.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I'll close these for now. This thing's actually pumping. Maybe we can actually do this now. Okay, so why is this not working? The FX.
I don't know. You broke it?
Yeah. Let me just refresh the page.
Anyway, it should be right there at the top. The FX. You click that, and you
click here. I don't know why it's
the
not.
name of it.
Oh, I'm stuck loading right now. Hold on.
All right. So
okay. Why don't we? This is the same token, by the way. It's pumping right now, so I'm just going to withdraw.
Yeah, do it.
And so what I'll do is let's do 10. So you can see on 15-second time frame. Oh, great. It's frozen. Just what you want. Okay, we'll maybe try Dex Screener. Let's have a look. So while that loads, let me just see. Yeah, so going back to Patu's question, if I enter a big position, I think I can do, if the trade is not going my way and the token dumps quickly, honestly, you just to hold and hope. The longer that I mean, you have two choices. Either you sell as quickly as possible and just realize the loss and try and reduce it as much as possible, or you hold for longer. Okay, the deck screener is working now, and hope it comes back. Another thing you can do is withdraw the liquidity. Don't sell the token, but just place it lower down. Yes, you're realizing some losses, but you're still earning fees, so at least you can mitigate some of those losses.
Yeah, if the volume's there and all that, it
Yeah.
can work. This question here, I was a little, when I want to add a position and I adjust the price range below it, it says I'm opening 2 positions, meaning I'm paying 0.1 SOL. My question is, while that I can't adjust the price range.
Sorry,
I
I just want to show like that there was an exact
go ahead.
perfect situation for this. Do
Sorry,
you see it?
go ahead.
And we did. We got. I mean, I didn't put a lot in, but we made like $5 off that, off the 10 SOL in like, I don't know, what was that, 2 minutes?
Yeah, it was less than that.
So, you know, there is a risk if you just keep chasing it up like this. At some point you are going to get burnt. So I'm just see how I withdrew the same 10 SOL and I just deposited it a bit higher up. I'm hoping this dev isn't like watching me or something and gonna. But yeah, here we go. We're back on the chart. Things are moving. So someone is asking, how do I get those indicators? You'll find it's the same in deck screener as in GMGN. There's this button. It says FX here, FX indicators. So then you just need to search for MACD and the RSI. And
Yeah, you
click them and
got them favorited, so they're easy to get to.
Yeah. So someone says, I love opening a bid-ask position after a huge parabolic move like these. Well, I would say give it a go. Try a curve position. I mean, with the bid-ask, if it goes down and then bounces back up, you're good. Well, then you might as well have done curve because it's the same. You need the same outcome to be successful, but with the curve, you use even more of your liquidity. It is more risky though. Alex is saying Jut Pro. Yeah, that's another good one. And Gosha, I agree. There's still too little volume to do this at this point. So I would practice with smaller amounts. And, you know, so that when the day comes and the big runner with crazy volume happens, you kind of know what to do. And look at that, 43. Can we hold it though? We'll see.
Yeah, I appreciate the demo though.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Is cool. This is cool. I mean, it's definitely risky. You know, that's some pretty degen stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is why it really, really, really helps to aim for to do this during this huge parabolic initial pump, you know?
Yeah.
Like here.
That's the top blast part.
Or here, yeah. Here, after the initial pullback, I always find this one, the third one, is a bit risky. I don't know if you can see the screen very well. Just because, you know, it's been climbing for a long time and it's about to dip, you know? Some people need to take their profit. So always think about what people are going to do. After this initial parabolic, people are very likely to buy a dip. And then they buy the dip. Then the people who made a bunch of will realize their profits off the people who buy it, and they're left holding the bag, you know. And so that's the mentality. You need to think about what these are real people, like what these bars are showing.
Right.
So always think about like what the people who are already in it are going to do and what the people entering it are going to do, presented with the same information that you have, you know.
Yeah.
And your hope is that they're going to PvP each other real hard, and you're just then nice and snug with your position, farming both sides of it. You know, that's an LP.
Yeah. So in this strategy, you need to withdraw quickly, and when it goes higher, you add it back and rebalance.
Yeah, you can chase it up as it goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we go back to my example, we can see, right. So I see here that we've had two big dips, a reversal's due. Basically, someone looking to buy this coin is thinking at this moment, this is a good discount. It's worth the buy. You know, the risk is quite low. It's not going to dip any further. Maybe if it does, you know, you're pretty unlucky. But most people who were going to sell have sold. You know, because if you look back here, most people who bought reacting to this big candle are now either at zero or have sold in profit already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone asked, how do you activate the yellow blue bars and how do you use it to your advantage? The volume profile visible range is just another indicator, and it's showing buys and sells in the volume. So that's like you can tell where all the volume's happening.
So again, it's in indicators, and I already have a favorite, but it's called volume profile visible range. And obviously, this person who asked this question hasn't attended the original bootcamp, because you would know what it does. But essentially, this is a histogram. It shows you where the volume has taken place, where I can never remember which way it is. Blue is buy volume and yellow is sell volume. So if we draw some lines on this chart, we can see that basically most of the trading has happened in this price range, between these three big candles here, with the red line indicates what we call the point of control, the point at which things are the most even between buyers and sellers over time.
Yeah.
And you can see here, this is a thicker amount of, there's a zone here where there's been a bit more volume. And that correlates to this part of the chart. As you can see down on here, this is a lot of buy volume here. So hopefully that helps.
Right. Yeah. Someone else had a question here. It's so confusing. I'm trying to learn this thing from past few weeks. Please provide some simple strategy which will earn $20 to $30 daily with minimum investment. Man, that would be the dream, right? And it's not a simple answer. There's not just some simple strategy to do that. You have to, you know, get into this. This is probably not the place to start in the advanced. You need to start with our regular boot camps, and you start winning. Consistency is the key. You learn how to start consistently winning by fully understanding this. So we can't just, hey, just do this, do that, and you know you're done. You walked away. So yeah. But this one, I like this question, Chief. Someone says, I always get wrecked if the token is under 2 million. Is it too volatile, too risky?
Well, this is probably an issue of being too narrow. With these low market cap tokens, things can move like 100% in a minute. And so my advice for that would be use smaller, like commit smaller amounts of capital. Like you don't need to go in hard actually, because the profits is like, it's very profitable when it is profitable. So you know, you can make $20 off from $100 capital quite easily. But then, yeah, my advice would be to go for a bigger bin step pool, like a 250 or 200. Or if you're doing 100 bin step, then you want to make it much wider. Like try and do like 74% down from the current price. You definitely want to be playing defensive, or balancing any aggression that you're going to put into it, as in buying tokens with a defensive position beneath it, which is like a bid ask with just Sol. Yeah, you can. The cool thing about the dynamic fee in the DLMM is when the price moves quickly between bins, it increases the dynamic fee. So that means lower market cap tokens, like under 2 mil, are going to generate a lot more dynamic fees than the bigger ones, based on that volatility. And so you can benefit from that. But yeah, of course, there's a lot more volatility. It's a double-edged sword. You benefit and lose out to it. Just remember that I think most people, they might earn $100 in fees, but really only keep like $60 of it, and that's okay. It's still profitable.
Yeah,
we have a question.
and that is, yeah, like this question: how often are you claiming and do you sell the token rewards into Sol immediately? I mean, me personally, lately, one of the things that I've been doing more of is, I'll get some nice amount in fees, I'll claim it, and I'll go ahead and sell that shitter just to lock in my profits there. But what do you like to do, Chief?
I try to avoid claiming the fees until I close. In when I'm doing this specific strategy, I keep it partly because I just want to I enjoy looking at a number, but also it's also to do with the points program. Like your fees are logged only when you claim them, right? Technically, right now, these fees are not in my wallet; they're in the DLM contract. So, if I'm trying to get the most points, you want to claim the fees when they're the most valuable, which means you want to wait till the position is, at the top, if you can, right? Otherwise, yeah, you just claim and sell. As soon as you want, if that's not your objective. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like different perspective, different ideas. I mean, because like for me, when I'm looking at it, is this thing is it running down? If I think it's going to go down, then I may go ahead and sell that off because, I'd rather sell something when it's worth $10 versus when it's worth 50 cents. But,
yeah, and that's a very good point. Like it's often better to take the money that's on the table and just realize it as quickly as you can. And it's something that Batman talked about in the last. It's better to cry in green than in red, right?
For real.
So, to me, the fees are second order of importance. The most important thing is the liquidity that I have the DLMM and protecting it, making sure that I don't accidentally give it back to the market when I don't want to, and and realizing it as it happens.
Yeah. Well, and Ross, he's asking that. I don't know how fast you can do it, or if you want to do it. Someone just made a call in the Discord. I think it's called Hot Sauce. I don't know if that's worth time doing.
Do we have time? How am I doing?
If you can do it in a couple minutes. I don't know if you get all of it.
Okay, hold on a sec.
Okay, actually, Kkelebek, he'll do it. It's kind of his turn.
Yeah,
was
sure.
was there anything else that you wanted to say and cover before we?
I just
flip
wanted to just highlight like just how powerful the single-sided withdrawal is, because
Yeah.
you're basically, I like to think of it as there's in gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? In logistics, they have this idea of just-in-time delivery. You know, like things arrive exactly when they're needed and they're gone as soon as they're not needed. And so the way I visualize this kind of LPing is I'm sandwiching the current price as much as possible and only leaving the asset that I want in the pool, if that makes sense. Because this is like crazy flexibility DLMM gives you, the ability to withdraw, you know, specific bins, and so this is protecting my soul from being converted back
Yeah.
into the token when I don't want it to be. And you can also take a much more aggressive position. Say something is running parabolic, you could do the opposite, which is buy like a big bag of it, and then just put it straight in the DLMM in curve, and just let the market eat it up as it goes up, and then just keep buying and putting it in curve as it keeps going up, and do it only like 10% ahead of the current price. And in that way, I'm kind of imagining like those cartoons where, you know, like someone's placing the track in front of the train that they're riding. So
Yeah. All right.
And the other thing about the one-side withdrawal, if you're unsure if the token's going to pump, if it's at this point of, you know, you don't know if it's going to go up or down, you can withdraw it into your wallet so that you can quickly sell it if you need to. But if you don't need to, you can just put it back in the DLMM. That way, you know, you have that, because oftentimes you can get stuck with the liquidity in the DLMM. Sometimes it's better to just miss out on a little bit of fee generation for that security, if you know what I mean.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Chief. We appreciate it, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we're gonna turn it over to Kkelebek and Phobos.
Okay.
You guys,
Yeah.
take it away.
Guys, I will talk Turkish and Phobos here for translate me. Sorry for this, and I'm starting.
No apology
First,
needed.
Okay. Merhaba. Öncelikle bu stratejimin ismi Only Sol Bidesk olarak geçiyor ve burada sadece Solana kullanıyoruz. Bu benim başladığımdan beri en yaygın olarak kullandığım strateji ve bu strateji en çok DLMM'e yeni başlayan ve burada kaybetmekten korkan insanlar için faydalı. Aynı zamanda çok yeni çıkmış. Az önce Mythical Potato'da call verdiği bu coin gibi coinlerde düşük market cap'teki hacimli coinlerde kullanmak için mantıklı. Çevirebilirsin buraya.
Hey guys, so in short, he's going to be talking in Turkish, and I'm going to be explaining everything he says in Turkish and I'm going to be translating everything he says in Turkish to English. So if you guys have any question or anywhere you don't understand, feel free to write in the comments. So what he just said was basically the name of his strategy is Solana only bid ask, and he says it's recommended for people who start LPing, like a fresh LP or a beginner sort of, and it's recommended for low market caps but high volume coins, which are fresh coins with high volatilities sort of. Yeah.
Şu an ekran gözüküyor mu Efe?
Hayır.
Ekran için paylaşma. Ha, okey. Okay.
Aynen, şu an gözüküyor.
Şimdi ilk önce Dejin olandan, yani yeni çıkan coin'de uygulayacağım bir de stratejisinden bahsedeceğim. Burada nelere dikkat ettiğimi bir tweet yazmıştım. Burada göstereceğim. Mesela bu coin'de fiyatın, yani her zaman shitcoin'lerin düşmeye daha meyilli olduğunu varsayıyorum. Yani 10 tane shitcoin'den bir tanesi sürekli yükselmeye meyilli oluyor ve bunun fiyatının şiştiğini varsayıyorum. O yüzden bu coin'de mesela şöyle bu coin'de daha böyle düşük fiyatlara, yani mesela şöyle yapalım, bir kutu çizeceğim. Burada da şunu düşünüyorum. Coin hakkında çok fazla fikrim yok ama oyunun içinde kalmak istiyorum. Burada şu anda alım yapmam, yani Solana harici coin'le çift taraflı bir pozisyon açmak mantıksız. Çünkü coin'in zaten fiyatının düşeceğini düşünüyorum. Ama hacim güzel. Buradaki ana fikir şu. Coin düşse bile likidite oranla hacim birbirine yakın olduğu için, yani hacim bunu kompanse edebileceği için burada bir pool açmak mantıklı geliyor. Çünkü çok hızlı düşse bile benim güzel bir dip belirlersem bu dipten yukarı döndüğünde bu hacim sayesinde bu telafi edilecektir diye düşünüyorum. Buraya da çevirebilirsin.
So his strategy consists of coins, which are basically fresh coins with high volumes. He most of the time, like he always considers these coins which are pumped really high, has a great volume, and like those pumps and spikes, he considers them to dip soon. So as you can see on the chart that he has on the screen, the coin is pumping, but he expects this coin to dump really hard into his purple area as he drawn on the screen, and he will open a DLMM position from there to going up, not down. So he will only go for Solana only and on bid ask. So that's what his strategy is.
Örnek vermek gerekirse mesela bu coin'de bir kutu çizdim. Fiyat 5 dakikalık aralıklarda sürekli yukarı gitmiş ve bir noktada bu coin'in fiyatının düşmesi gerekiyor. Çok bullish bir haber yoksa. Burada bu çizdiğim kutuda sadece Solana kullanarak aslında sabır etmem gerekiyor, beklemem gerekiyor. Şu şekilde mesela bir Solana koydum, bir desk yaptım. Yüksek, yani tepe fiyatı olarak mesela buraya yazıyorum. İşte ya da çekebiliriz. Taban fiyatını da burada tekrardan yazıyorum. Mesela burada şu düşmeye başladığında ve eğer dibi güzel bulabilirsem büyük ihtimalle bu düşüşte illaki hacim artacak ve dediğim gibi az önce o hacim sayesinde zaten slow rock çekse bile coin mutlaka ya telafi edecek ya da kârda olacağım diye düşünüyorum. Burayı tekrar çevirebiliriz.
So yeah, he talks briefly over his strategy a little bit more. So he says even if the coin rugs, I mean slow rugs basically. Can you show the chart screen? Tekrar gösterelim mi? Oh yeah. So as you can see on the screen, even if it goes down and it does a slow rug sort of, he says that this position and this range that he has given on the screen, it's gonna compensate. Like even if it goes down, it's not gonna be fully down. It's gonna be a little bit up and down, up and down. So this area that he determined on the screen, it's gonna compensate the slow rug eventually. But if not, he usually expects this area to pump a bit higher than the other one. So yeah.
Okay. Mesela burada coin buraya gelip bir anda düşmeye başlarsa ve biraz akümüle olduktan sonra burada yani bir kazanırsam ve dibe geldiğinde belki hani satıp ufak bir zararı göze alabilirim ya da şöyle yapabilirim. Dibe geldi ve tekrar buradan döndü. Tamamen Solana'ya geri çevirmezse bile elimdeki coinleri ufak bir impermuzla burada hemen çıkabilirim eğer işlerin kötüye gittiğini ya daha tehlikeli olmaya başladığını düşünürsem ufak bir impermuzla karla beraber kaçabilirim. Bu hızlı bir strateji. Yani maksimum 1 saatte olup bitecek bir şey. Onu da belirtebilirsin.
So basically, when it goes to down this purple range, he expects, like I said, he expects this coin to pump. So it's gonna from this one, like from the current price, he expects the coin to dump and then to pump. So that's scenario number one. That's what he hopes for. That's what he wants actually. But if it doesn't, then it's scenario number two. It's gonna be a little bit of slow rug, but this slow rug and the volume in that purple area, it's going to compensate and it's going to give him a little bit of impermanent loss. So on scenario number two, he's going to have to make a decision, either stay in the coin stay in the pool and expect some news, or just leave the coin with like, I don't know, 10, 15, or 20% 20% loss. So in scenario number 2, he's gonna have to make a decision, but on scenario number 1, he hopes for a pump with bid ask, and he's gonna be getting a huge amount of profit. But on scenario number 2, it's gonna be a less risky one.
Sonra daha önce bu coinler hakkında yazdığım bir tweet vardı. Çok yeni çıkan, mesela burada yaklaşık 1 saatlik bir coin var. Burada dikkat edilmesi gerekenleri yazdım GMG'de. Onlara da faydalı olacağı için bir anlatacağım. Öncelikle coin'in bence doğal bir oluşum içinde olup olmamasına dikkat etmek gerekiyor. Burada doğal oluşumdan kastım çok yeni bir coin'de top 10 holder'ın elinde çok düşük miktarlarda tutması. Örneğin %10 gibi, %5 gibi, %15 gibi. Bunlar aslında birazcık daha böyle hani natural olmadığını gösteriyor coin'lerin. Bunu söyleyebilirsin. Ve holder sayısının önemini.
Yeah, so he explains that. So I think you can share the tweet here for people to check. Wait, linkini buraya atabilir misin?
Hı hı.
So he can share the tweet. You can just translate from Turkish to English. It might be a little bit like a wrong translation, sort of. If you guys have a part that you don't understand, like, feel free to ask me or Kkelebek like anytime on Twitter. You guys should see our Twitter on Meteora page and LP Army page as well. Other than that, he says the first part is you need to see if the coin is how to put it right. It should be growing naturally. So he says top 10 holders are 13.8%. So that means not so many people have bought the large chunks of this coin. So this is a good sign. So a good coin to start LP with, he says, it should be around 10 to 15% at least. More than that, like 20, 25, or 30%, these are dangerous coins because whenever someone decides to sell them, it's going to be a huge dump. So
Burada daha sonra dikkat edilmesi gereken en büyük unsurlardan birisi holder'lar ve threshold sayısı. Yani burada baktığımızda 1700 holder var ama 500 tane threshold var. Yani threshold da bu kesin değil ama bunun anlamı şu olabilir. Bu coin'i yaratıcı developer coin'i çıkartmış ve bundle'lamış ve coin'in yüksek miktarını, burada bir şüphe uyandırmamak için burayı düşük tutmuş ve aslında %20'sini ve 30'unu bu kendi yarattığı threshold'lara göndermiş olabilir. Daha önce bunun bir sürü örneğini görmüştüm. Mesela burada o yüzden buna dikkat etmek gerekiyor. Threshold'un çok olması tehlikenin gitgide arttığı anlamına geliyor. Aynı zamanda hacim de düşmüş. Mesela burada baktığımızda az önce anlattığım hot source'da olduğu gibi artık bu coin'de bu fiyatlardan şurayı tepe belirleyerek, şu anki olduğu fiyatı tepe belirleyerek pozisyon açmak yerine daha aşağılardan başlamak mantıklı oluyor. Çünkü bu coin'in slow rock olma potansiyeli söylediğim şeylerden dolayı artmış oluyor.
So basically, you guys are aware of the bundle term. It, like, everyone who was trading on Solana, everyone who's trading meme coins, they're aware of this term called bundling. So bundling means a developer separates a huge amount of supply to his alt side wallets, and you're going to see it on top 10. But sometimes you don't see it on top 10, but you're going to see it on holder section, which is on number 1, and you're going to see it as in the subsection called fresh. This is on GMGN mostly, if I'm not mistaken. So more fresh wallet means it could mean two things. One is that fresh wallets are buying, like it's going to be growing naturally. But two, it can also mean that this developer could be bundling this coin or could have bundled this coin. So he says this range right here, it's let's check number 6. It says 0.0 blah blah blah blah 76305, right? So he says it already created its the top price right now. So creating a pool for this, it's going to be really dangerous one. So in this scenario, he expects price to go down, not up. Yeah.
Şimdi tehlikeli olan kısmı, yani daha decin olan yeri anlattım. Şimdi daha böyle yeni başlayanlar için daha böyle güvenli, yeni çıkan mesela Gork var, coin örnek olarak verebileceğimiz. Gork tipi daha doğal oluşum içinde hareket eden coinlerde ne yapabileceğimizi bir risk stratejisiyle söyleyeyim. Bir risk stratejisinde az önce şefin anlattığı gibi belki yüksek kazançlar olmuyor. Ama burada bir risk stratejisinde kayıplar da yüksek olmuyor. O yüzden bir tık daha güvenli buluyorum. Daha az zararlı, daha az kazançlı olabilmesine rağmen. Ama daha çok kazançlı olacağı senaryolarda olabiliyor. Bunu söyle devam edeyim sonra.
So he basically complements Chief's strategy on Curve, but on his strategy with Bitask, he says even if it doesn't profit you as much as Chief's strategy, it minimizes the risk and it minimizes the loss compared to Chief's strategy. We have one question. What's a good organic percentage of fresh wallets as a percent of the total holders? So he basically says organik, nasıl desem?
Oranını mı soruyor?
Aynen. Yani
Fresh
fresh wallet'ın ne kadar olması lazım organik büyüdüğünü anlamak için? Yani ne kadar fresh wallet, ne kadar organik olur?
Ya aslında şöyle, fresh wallet'lar başlangıçta yüksek sayılarda gözükebiliyor ama daha sonradan bu sayının artmaması da güzel bir şey. Mesela işte başlangıçta 200 fresh wallet var ve holder işte 200 adet holder artarken 100 adet fresh wallet artıyor. Yani 100 adeti yarısı, yani fresh wallet, bu tehlikeli. Yoksa hani net bir oranlama yapamayız aslında.
So, can you open the so there are like two sections here. One is holders section, or like tab, whatever you call it, and the fresh wallets tab. I mean, to determine which coin, like which percentage of fresh wallets are good or organic, it's kind of impossible. Like, if you know how to play the game, you're gonna be like, how do you say it? You're gonna understand what's going on. But you can, like, on the other hand, you can see that the fresh wallets are going up, but the holders section is not going up, or the other, like vice versa. Holders are going up, but the fresh wallets are not going up. I mean, to determine if a coin is growing organically, you need to check out for the holders and fresh wallets holders section on GMGN or whichever platform you're using.
Şunu da söyleyeyim mi? Mesela bazen burada 500 tane fresh wallet varken coin'in rankladığını görmeyebiliriz. Ama bazen oran olarak daha az fresh wallet vardır. Mesela 100 adet fresh wallet vardır ama coin ranklar. Bunun da sebebi şudur. Yani 100 tane fresh wallet'ın 5-10 tanesinde yüksek bir miktarını bölmüştür. Mesela %1 atmıştır bu bundle'layan developer. Bir anda raglayabilir. Ama mesela 500 adette öyle bir durum yoktur. Onda rag olmaz. O yüzden fresh wallet'ın doğrudan sayısına da sadece odaklanmamak gerekiyor.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I translated all of it because I knew Kkelebek's strategy a little bit, but I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna explain it here again. You shouldn't only focus on fresh wallets or wallet section just to understand if the token is growing organically or not. Sometimes the fresh wallets can be like, I don't know, 100 or 500 or like 1,000, but developer can rug. So, like I said, it all depends on if you know how to play the game, how to, I don't know, how to see the charts and see the fresh wallets and holders section according to the holders, right? And also one more thing that Kkelebek didn't say it here, like I'm gonna say it as an addition, is to see like on GMGN, you guys can see this owned percentage of the wallets. One second. Birazcık aşağı inebilir misin? Ben de küçük bir şey ekleyeceğim. Şu owned
Okay.
şeysi var ya.
Aşağı mı
So,
birazcık?
aynen böyle dursun iyi.
Mhm.
So it doesn't like it's not 100% guarantee, but it sometimes helps. The own percentage, sometimes developers can be lazy and they're going to be distributing the supply the same amounts of supply to their own wallets. So it's going to be either like 1.5%, 1.5%, or it's going to be like 2%, 2%, 2%, or maybe like 0.50, 0.50, etc. But like I said, it's not 100% guaranteed, but it helps a lot. This whole section, this holders and the fresh holders, fresh wallets, and the own percentage. Yeah.
Devam ediyorum. Şimdi daha güvenli, daha böyle yeni başlayanlar için daha düzenli coinlerde yapabileceğimiz bir de stratejisine geliyorum. Benim en çok kullandığım strateji de buydu ilk başladığımda. Mesela bu coin'in fiyatının 50 milyon dolara yükseldiğini ve artık oluşan hacmin doyuma geldiğini düşünüyorum. Ama bu coin için aşağılara düştüğünde tekrardan belli bir hacim oluşacağını düşünüyorum. Şimdi bu coin'de çift taraflı açmam için alım yapmam gerekiyor. Ama zaten fiyatının düşeceğini öngördüğüm bir coin'de alım yapmamın bir mantığı olmadığı için sadece Solana ekleyeceğim ve şimdiden yerimi alacağım. Ve coin düştüğünde, beklediğim yere düştüğünde dibi de eğer güzel bulabilirsem oradaki hacimden faydalanmaya çalışacağım. Mesela şu anki fiyatı 50 milyon ama ben bu coin'e 35 milyon doların altına düşmeye başladığında hacim geleceğini ve artık 20 milyon gibi fiyatlardan döneceğini düşünüyorum ve onun için mesela bir kutu çizmiştim. Buna göre bir strateji izleyeceğim. Buna göre bir pool açacağım.
Yeah. So, like he mentioned before, at the beginning of his strategy, like he said, he expects this coin to dump a little bit down to the purple rectangular area that he shows on the screen. So he expects around like 35 million. 35 million market cap. It's gonna be like it's gonna be dumping to 35 million according to his strategy, and then he's gonna be opening a pool, or he's gonna open a pool right now to show you guys, with Solana only. So he's not buying any coins, because if he buys any coins and adds them to the pool, it's gonna be a loss for him. Like it makes no sense for him to buy the coins and then put them right into the pool. So what he's gonna do is just he will be creating a pool on the range that he has given on the screen with Solana bid-ask only.
Şimdi geldim mesela burada göstereceğim. Bir desk diyorum. Burada range'i yazdım. Max price'ı yazdım tepe noktaya. Min price'ı da buraya yazıyorum. Şimdi bunu bu şekilde yaydığımda şöyle bir şey olacak. Coin'in fiyatı aşağıya düşerse, eğer belirlediğim dibe düşerse ve yukarıdan hızlı düşüp buralarda daha çok akümüle olursa aslında burada da ben fi'yi maksimize etmiş olacağım. Eğer şu bölgede daha yüksek takılırsa. Çünkü aslında burada baktığımızda DCA ile alım yapmış gibi bir şekilde likiditemizi yayıyoruz. Böyle aşağı doğru yükselen şekilde likiditemizi yaydığımız için aşağıdaki fiyatlarda akümüle olduğu sürece, yani şuralarda git gel yaparsa impermanent lose'u bile dahil ettiğimizde bu pozisyon güzel bir kar getirecek bize.
So we're creating a position, not a pool, right?
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, I was just going to mention that. I'm sorry. We say we create a pool. We say it like creating a pool in Turkish. So I was kind of lost in translation from Turkish to English. I was like saying, "Oh, creating a pool," or like creating a position. So yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
gonna be
important distinction.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Like he's gonna be
Yeah.
creating a position, not a pool. So
All
he's gonna
good.
be yeah.
Okey. Burayı
Anlattım zaten. Bahsini geçtim. Hı hı.
tamam o zaman. Onun haricinde söyleyeceğimiz bir şey yok sanırım.
Şey yapacak mısın? Örnek olarak ne bileyim pool açacak mısın?
Yok, örnek olarak açmayacağım ben şu anda. Ben zaten gösterdim.
Tamam. Başka eklemek istediğin bir şeyler var mı?
Yok, yani senin varsa sen kendine ekleyeceklerini ekle istersen.
Yo, benim yok.
Okay.
Evet.
Well, yeah. So basically, this is his strategy. So, in short, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was good explanation for you guys from Turkish to English, English to Turkish. But in short, what he does is basically he waits for the moment to coin to dip or dump, and then he's gonna take his position with Solana bid ask only. We have one more question from Chief. How are you deciding where to place your purple box? Şu mor şeyi nasıl, yani bu range'i nasıl belirliyorsun?
Aslında bunu hani hacimlere falan bakarak belirlemiyorum tam olarak ama böyle coin'i baştan sona takip ettiğim için genelde böyle bir öngörüde bulunuyorum ve aslında hani normalde belirleyeceğim aralıktan daha düşüklere koyarak iyice minimize etmeye çalışıyorum ve burada şey oluyor aslında. Eğer pozisyonuma girmezse bir şey kaybetmiyorum, kazanamıyorum ama tabii ki bir şey de kaybetmiyorum ama büyük ihtimalle çok hızlı bir dump gelirse bile kaybetme ihtimalim çok çok düşük oluyor. Yani 10 kere de belki sadece bir kere kaybediyorum. Bu şekilde
Tamam.
söyleyebilirim.
Range'i nasıl şey yapıyorsun ama? Onu kısaca bir söylesen yeter.
Range'i mi?
Hı hı.
Range'i belir işte o şeyleri hangi volümlere göre o indikatörleri soruyor sanırım da herhangi bir indikatör kullanmıyorum aslında baktığımda. Hani benim için makul gelen fiyatları yani dip fiyatı ve şeyi kafamda belirliyorum. Hani aslında şunu söyleyebilirsin. Mesela bu coin'e DCA ile alım yaptığımda diyelim ki herhangi bir fiyattan ortalama olarak herhangi bir fiyattan spot olarak elimde tutmak isteyeceğim bir fiyata göre belirliyorum bunu. Yani atıyorum 20 milyon market cap'ten bu coin'in 20 Solana'lık ya da 10 Solana'lık şekilde elimde kalmasını kabulleniyorsam o şekilde hani kafamda aslında ortalama bir alım fiyatı belirleyerek yapıyorum.
So, how is he deciding where to place his purple box? Which, how he is deciding to set all of his ranges? This purple rectangular or box. He basically checks the volume first. Like which range of this coin had a great volume, and also that's number one. And also number two is that he's thinking and calculating and saying to himself, like, if I DCA this coin, which means dollar cost average, from this price to an X price, how much will I be in profit or how much will I be in loss? So he says, like, if this coin goes down and I do a some sort of DCA, like I'm talking like in like imaginary, right? Like he's thinking, if I DCA this, am I going to be in good position with this price? Should I hold it in a spot, or am I going to be in loss? So by doing the two things at once, like the checking the volume and calculating if he's going to be in a good shape with his DCA strategy. Yeah.
Sorry, to just Paul, like to repeat, he's imagining, okay, I'm about to open an LP position. So let's imagine I start a DCA right now. How will I look in the future? Will I be good or bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, are you gonna share your screen?
Oh, kapatsana mısın?
Wait, hold on. Chief, I guess
Yeah.
you were going to share your screen, right?
No. That was just I was just trying to clarify what you were saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Do we have anything to add, or do we have any questions?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how the volume profile indicator would line up with the purple box. Maybe you
Oh.
could just bring the chart back up and show the volume profile indicator.
Oh, yeah. Kkelebek tekrar ekranını şey yapabilir misin?
Tamam.
Paylaşabilir misin? Hı hı.
Şey mi? Volume profile indikatör mü? Bunu mu söylemek
Hı
istiyorsun?
hı. Hı hı.
Evet, bunu daha yeni öğrendim ama çok fazla kullanmıyorum. Aslında şunu ekleyebilirim. Neredeyse böyle Meteora'yla uğraşmadan ya başlamadan önce bir sene her gün shitcoin trade ederek geçirdiğim için az çok böyle coinlerin tepki vereceği yerleri hissedebiliyorum ya da anlayabiliyorum. Onları öngörebiliyorum. Böyle o yüzden çok fazla indikatör kullanmıyorum. Yani o hislerim gelişti aslında o şekilde söyleyebilirsin.
Okay. He says that even if you can see on this chart with the indicator, this volume profile indicator, his range is different than the volume profile indicator, right? Like it's a little bit like slightly above his range, but he doesn't use indicators or some sort of tools to help his to help his trading. Um, he says, like he mentions that like through years of trading on meme coins, he can actually feel or just slash sense when the coin is gonna dump or pump. So he basically says that, yes. And also this question which Kkelebek mentioned while he was explaining his strategy, what if it never comes to that position? It comes to his range, I guess he meant. He says that if it never comes to that position or range, it means that you're not in a profit or a loss. Like in my opinion, you should be thankful of your position, because it doesn't have to, like, you don't have to be in profit all the time. Like sometimes not being in a loss can be a profit. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
Well, not losing is better than losing.
Yeah, exactly.
Crying green.
Yeah.
Awesome. Was there anything else, or do we want to take questions? I mean, I have other things to show, but
Just wanted
was
to
there
add to
anything else?
that idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like,
Please do.
it's a really important point because, you know, protecting your capital is really important, especially when, you know, as we discussed just now, like the odds are really stacked when you have devs that can rug any minute or bundle tokens. You have to remember, like, survival is the name of the game. You know what I mean? Because you can get wrecked so quickly, and it can undo so many like good positions, and so yeah, always be sure when you're taking the risk that it's a good time to do it, and just really work on getting that sense of when things are good and when things are sketchy, if you know what I mean.
I think it's just to like chime in for a second. Actually, very very good point by Chief. And you know this. I'm sorry. Hello guys. I'm Gosha. If you guys didn't know me yet. Basically, I think that today we had kind of several strategies discussed, and I actually appreciate it a lot. I myself learning, so it's a very good alpha, and I mean that but still the sense of things going your way is a very important thing. You should not try to follow one strategy all the time. There's the infinite number of variables you need kind of to keep in mind, and we talked about a lot of variables today, from fresh wallets to where the chart is to the time frame which you are looking in. It's so much, and we will never able to explain you to every combination which we kind of have, and you should get to a sense of it, and the only way to get there is actually do it by yourself. And for me, it's a kind of always this feeling of infinite number of variables which you need to take in mind when you're helping. And yeah, sorry, but just yeah, my 2 cents.
No. Actually, I think, yeah, thanks. I think it was a good point. Yeah. Yeah, we had some questions. is a volume indicator shows volume if the token is in range now. If goes down to Kkelebek's range, volume will be. Can I have help, please, to understand?
So I think he's talking about the volume profile indicator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the volume profile showing volume if the token is in range? I think this person's a little confused. The volume profile indicator shows all the volume over all the time that is visible on the screen, rather than the range it is in now. It shows you where the volume has been happening in your visible range. That's why it's visible range.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah.
So if you zoom in, it will change. If you zoom out, it will change.
Yeah.
There's also volume profile fixed range where you can kind of set it specifically so that you can zoom out without it changing, for example.
Actually, this is a good question. If the coin continues going up, would he shift the purple box up or just go find another play elsewhere? Let me just translate the Turkish for you. Diyor ki eğer ki coin yukarı çıkarsa diyor, sen bu mor kutuyu aşağı yukarı devam ettiriyor musun? Yoksa başka bir play mi bakıyorsun? Yani coin yükseldiği zaman ne yapıyorsun?
Şartlar değiştiğinde ben de takip ediyorsam eğer ve belli bir karar alabilecek kadar fikir sahibiysem ona göre tekrardan tabii ki ben de kutumun yerini değiştiriyorum.
Yani yukarıya doğru mu değiştiriyorsun?
Hayır,
Profit
yukarı
olacak
doğru
şekilde.
derken tabii ki de hani mesela 50 milyondan 70 milyona pantladı. Bu sefer tabii ki de 35 milyonun altına değil, bu sefer 50 milyonun altına arayacağım mesela. O şekilde.
So he basically says that let's say an X coin started with 30 million market cap, right? So he basically is gonna he's gonna be pooling. He's gonna be creating a position either around like 20 to 25 million. Like I'm just like talking through his scenario. It's gonna be 20 to 25, but if it goes up from 30 to 50, let's just say, he's going to be looking to adjust his position to, I don't know, to 30 to 40. So basically, his game, his strategy is that if the coin pumps, you don't ride along with it, but you ride along with its dump. I don't know if it makes sense.
So he's going to kind of chase it up, but he's going to continue to do it with a bid-ask strategy.
Yes, he's gonna change the price, but not the price itself. Like a little bit down its price, like I don't know, 15% down or like 20% down, because he's gonna be expecting a dump eventually. Yeah.
And would he go with the same width on the range, or would he keep kind of the bottom of the range where he had it originally? So like, would he widen his range or keep the width the same?
Let me just translate quickly. Range'i daraltır mısın yoksa genişletir misin bu price yukarı fiyat yukarı çıkarken ya da işte aşağı inerken falan? Kkelebek.
He's mute. He's on mute.
Kkelebek.
Ha, okey. Range'i çok fazla normalde daraltmam. Aşağıdaki gibi benzer bir yere koyarım ya da daraltmak yerine genişletebilirim. Çünkü fiyatı pumpladı. Yine ortalamamı daha da düşürmek için daha geniş yapabilirim belki sadece ama büyük ihtimalle daraltmam range'i.
He prefers keeping the range the same as before, but sometimes he can adjust it to he can widen the range, but he doesn't how do you say it? He doesn't shorten the range. He always expands. He always keeps it straight as before, or sometimes expands it.
Cool. Good stuff. Well, so just bring this back up. If you guys aren't following our instructors here on X, here they are again, Kkelebek 76. It's Chief, and here's Phobos. Give those guys a follow. They do good content. I appreciate Geeklad and Gosha coming on today to add additional commentary here. While we have just a second, I wanted to show something goofy that I did yesterday. There we go. So this is what I call the fuck around and find out fucked up cowboy hat strategy. Don't recommend, but it was actually an interesting thing because I had started out playing with this thing. I started out on a like just classic spot and bit ass. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play around with curve on this gork, see what happens. And I did this gork, and then I'm like, I just start goofing out because I was bored, and I did the withdrawal on either side and threw that into bid ask, and I made this insane shape. And the funny part is that it was actually earning more money shaped like this than it was in the spot bid ask. And so again, don't recommend, but I thought it was a funny thing. And I love when, whenever Meteora first started, the show off your curves channel in the Meteora server, this is what it was about, people playing around with curves and seeing what works and what doesn't, or just what's fun. People were having fun with this. So yeah, that's a goofy thing. I had fun with that yesterday. But again, I wouldn't know that I'd call that an advanced strategy. But anyway, that's what. Did we have anything else that we wanted to add or share today? We've got 3 minutes. Any additional questions that we can cover? We're definitely going to keep doing advanced boot camp, guys. I can't promise you it'll be every single month, but we're going to try. It's going to depend on, what there's time for. And really what I'm looking for with advanced boot camp is like, what does the community want, right? What are the questions people are asking? What do people want to know? And so that's what I'm looking at. So, anytime people have input, like, hey, I'd really like to learn more about this or that, we'll look into it and try and make it happen for you. I'm always on the lookout for good stuff to share. Gosha, how to make 100% profit every 10 minutes. Yeah, whenever you figure that out, you let me know. Yeah, blog,
Sure.
right? Every week. Yeah.
Wait, actually, how to make 100% profit every 10 minutes? Does he mean 2x profit every 10 minutes or 100% win guarantee? Because win guarantee is like you can just put your funds in a stable token pair, right? So it's gonna be a win
He means
guarantee.
2x.
Oh, he means 2x. Okay,
Point.
my bad. Yeah.
You are guys really dissecting my joke.
I have something to say.
Yeah.
Anyone out there making pools, stop selling yourself short and make a higher base fee. There's no reason to do 1% for like anything under like 5 million market cap.
I actually think 1% pools are better than 2% pools. So for 5 million market cap at least. I don't like 102% for too long. They're kind of stale. They become stale pretty fast. I think at least I think so. But yeah, anything under 1% is no.
Yeah, it seems like you're selling your liquidity at a way too cheap of a price for the risk level.
Well, and I think that's something actually, because what, we talked about this some in the very first advanced boot camp during pool creation. And I think, we probably need to revisit that because, a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have been learned since then. And I think maybe, soon we need to have another pool creation and we can talk about this then actually, like, because part of creating pools is understanding what type of pool is going to work. What's the bend step to choose? What's the fee to choose? And when to move, right? You know, like, I mean, if you go and create a 400 bend step 5% pool, okay, maybe that works when that shitter is brand new, or even a 250 or whatever. But at what point do you decide, okay, I no longer need this and we need to move on to that? And we don't really have time to go into depth of answering that question here today, but I think maybe that would be a good topic to revisit. What do you think?
Absolutely. Like pool scaling is critical, especially something huge like Trump. You want to basically, my approach to it is to stay as long as you can in the highest feet pool until it's not feasible.
Yeah.
It's like triage, you know, you just keep moving down as it changes.
Right.
Yeah, just a small note. Sorry for interrupting you, Chief. I just think I recently noted this. I think this couple months, like I think last 2 months, people are actually moving their liquidity faster in more optimal pools than it was before. Because and I think there's an impact of a first advanced bootcamp and basically of kind of higher knowledge level between LPs. Because before, you know, we had a, you know, if a pool was not optimal, like for example 202%, 200% for a very, very like big and already active coin, people actually kept liquidity in it, and now pools suffered. And today we have people moving liquidity very, very, very fast. And of course, sometimes it's unoptimal when we have very weird combinations of very low fees, of course. But I think now people are finding what pools are actually the better ones and moving the liquidity fast, and that's an impact of Bootcamp and basically educational content which we have been producing. So good job.
We're out of time, but I wanted to answer this really quick. Questioning with the knowledge had a couple issues where I had some tokens left over that you could not swap. They were DLMM tokens. Why does that happen? So, I mean, there shouldn't, if assuming that token is not frozen, you know, I'm assuming that you've sold some of it and, you know, it's not a frozen token. You're on that. The only time that I really see anything like that is, you know, I DLMM a token and then I got an airdrop of a copycat that was frozen. That's what happened. So I would encourage you to double check the contract address on that. There shouldn't be any reason, but it's most likely a scam token that you got airdropped. And yeah, you want to be careful with those things. Yeah, so Wagwas, yes. I mean, the advanced boot camp, it's still a decent watch. There's still good information there. We will revisit it, but you know, some things have changed, but you know, it's the information is still valid. But yeah, and guys, I would love to sit here and answer more and more questions, but you know, feel free to move to the Discord and chat there. We are over on time, so we're going to give it a call. Again, I appreciate Chief. Thank you so much for showing up today and showing us the top blast curve. Kkelebek, thank you so much for showing us your strategies. And Phobos, man, what an outstanding job translating and keeping all that square. That was amazing. Thank you so much, sir. And Geeklad and Gosha, thank you for joining us today with your input and helping answer questions. So again, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And we will see you guys soon.
now called the Great Janitor. He has become only the handler, replacing the power inside. The dead army now arise. For this we are bred, to be the army of the dead. Forever it shall be said, I am dead, I am dead. We now spread, wearing the token of the dead. To Jupiter and beyond, the dead token is our bond. Forge ahead in the great rules, using the dead as our tools. For this we are bred, to be the army of the dead. Forever it shall be said, I am dead, I am dead, I am dead. Create new images of power that echo till the final hour. We are the dead here and now, forever dead, this we avow. From the pieces the janitor shatters, the dead army is all that matters. For this we are bred, to be the army of the dead. Forever it shall be said, I am dead, I am dead.